Hey everyone, Nurse Mel here. Hope you're having a great day. I'm bringing you something super exciting today. As you can tell, I am very excited. I have brought you the ultimate, biggest nursing school survival guide that every student nurse needs. Okay, maybe it's not that exciting for some of you, but for me, it is, because if I were a nurse, I would have needed to hear all of this in time for my first semester. If you enjoy my content, if you enjoy my little mug, let's get into it. Tip number one I have for you is to be on top of all of your readings. I know it's going to be redundant. Everyone's going to tell you this. Teachers are going to tell you this. Your parents are going to tell you this. The friend next to you is going to tell you this. And the girl in the back is going to tell you this. But it is true. You literally have about 300 to 400 pages of reading a week. Have you ever seen any of these nursing books? They're huge. I'm a little bit out of breath just picking up those books. Try taking the metro every day to school. You need to be on top of these readings weekly. Set a little agenda and mark down the readings you're going to do, but do them. Do not wait last minute, because I'm telling you, you're going to feel overwhelmed knowing that you have a med-surg book to read, a biology book to read, the course material to read, PowerPoint to take notes from, and knowing that you have an exam coming up in 4 weeks that counts for 40% of your grade. The slightest mishap will cause you to be behind by 10 miles and above. All right, tip number two, form a study group. Now, I'm saying this with a little grain of salt because if you are the type of person that you get very distracted, you do not concentrate easily, you enjoy socializing when being in a study group, no, this is not the time to do it. However, for me, it worked wonders being in a study group. So shout out to my girls, Mel, Lish, and Kayla, who I would study with day and night in nursing school. These people saw me more than my mom and dad, my boyfriend, and my sister. What we would do is we'd get together after a reading and we would be sure to present ourselves at our meetup fully informed of the information, and basically we would just quiz each other and pencil each other in on material that doesn't seem as clear as it did to one of us. And by the end of it, you're going to be fully well-versed in the entire lecture. Tip number three, prior to commencing classes, already get familiar with the material. Nursing school tends to put out the material during the break because they know it gets so overwhelming during the 12 weeks of classes that it'd actually be better to start prior to classes commencing. Just peek, take a little bit of notes, and just do my first reading just to be familiar. So when I went to the lecture first day of class, I was so familiar with all the material that it actually became easier to grasp all the information that the teacher was presenting. That actually was quite complex. My tip for you, if you are a new nursing student, understand what a baseline is and what norms of vital signs are. That will save you wonders first semester in nursing school. Understanding what it means to have a baseline and comparing it to the normal values of vital signs. A person's baseline is what they present with on a day-to-day basis, and understanding how it is different from the norms of what a textbook vital signs are will actually help you understand the patient that much better. 4, practice your skills on family. Okay, disclaimer there. I have to be very careful when I say this. I'm not talking about trying to put in intravenous, taking bloods, putting in a catheter, nothing invasive. We try to help people as nurses. We don't want to inflict pain when it's not necessary. See this? It's your stethoscope. It's your baby. It's your boyfriend and your girlfriend all in one. You need to know how to use this. You need to know how to go for an apical pulse, how to go for lung sounds, vesicular sounds. You need to know how to use the bell. What's the difference between the two? It's something really good to master. And these are things that you can practice on family members with consent only. Only with consent. Your head-to-toe assessment is something wonderful to get down packed, because as a nurse, that is your saving grace. Your head-to-toe is what you need to know on every patient. When you're going to have 10 patients one day on an evening shift, you got to know how to do a head-to-toe correctly, sufficiently, collecting all of the important data and doing it within less than 10 minutes. And I think these are great ways for you to better your skills as a nurse, and evidently this is going to help you one day save a life, and that is basically what we're all studying for. 5, for the love of God, ask questions. You need to ask questions. Don't be shy. If you don't know something, ask. You can't lose anything. You don't look stupid. Also, don't ever do a skill that you're not comfortable doing alone. If you've never done it, go get your teacher, go get another RN, and pull them with you into the room to do it. If they don't do the skill. Have the nurse who's actually in charge of the patient to go ahead and do the skill. Be in a position where a nurse can pull you out of it and save you and the patient from something detrimental happening than it being too late. 6, get comfortable with the human anatomy. I wasn't the most comfortable with the human body, and many things made me feel uncomfortable, especially in the terms of indecency and nudity. But I'm saying you're gonna be seeing a lot of exposure. Some of these things might make you feel uncomfortable as well. So we share that, and many people do for their first time being nurses and actually seeing a human body. You need to start seeing the human body as much more than just an aesthetic. It is made up of all of these living organs that are working cohesively to keep you alive. And once you get out of your head, indecency and nudity in the body and bodily fluids and blood and urine and feces, you'll actually just understand that this is just the way that our body mechanically works. And this is the way that it works to keep us alive. And once that clicked in my head, it never became awkward for me. I never felt uncomfortable ever again. 7, do case studies. These questions present a patient with a super long history of medical diagnoses and medications they've taken and a story of how they present themselves to the hospital. Case studies will save your life one day, I promise. They are magic. You will learn how to pick data that is important and toss data to the side that isn't, and try and analyze and use your critical thinking to see what truly is the problem with your patient and what nursing skills you need to help potentially save the patient's life. 8, master your emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence also resonates with what's going on at home. Many nurses, just like many people in the world, have family lives, have work lives, have social lives, have lives that aren't perfect, have family issues, friend issues, have health issues, but when they come to work, they put all of that aside because they are making a commitment to your family member, to the patient, to the person who needs care. Within the years that I've become a nurse, many things have happened in my personal life, and I've learned to deal with that and keep that at home and not bring it to work, because patients need your undivided attention. They need you to be smart and be critical thinkers and detectives and pick up on cues that can save them from something terrible happening to them. 9, be ready to face your FOMO, aka fear of missing out. It's like you just took a vow, you took a hand in marriage with nursing school. This is what you'll be committed to for 3 years. But many people aren't, and it's normal. I mean, some of us starting so young, and our friends are going out and celebrating birthdays, and they're going out dancing, and they're going to all these beautiful places that we want to be a part of, and unfortunately, we won't always be able to attend. But it's another thing for the people around you in your niche to understand and respect what you're doing. Besides nursing school being the hardest thing you'll probably ever do in life, okay, well, besides probably giving birth, because I've never given birth, but I've seen a woman giving birth, and it looked really hard. So, being the second hardest thing you'll probably ever do if you're a woman, you need to know that just because you made it into nursing school, it doesn't mean you're gonna stay in it. I'm not saying this to bring you down. Believe me, I am the person you want in your life. If you want positivity and you need a leap of energy, someone to motivate you and hype you, like I'm the hype woman. I am your woman. This is just the harsh reality of nursing. Not everyone is gonna make it. There are obstacles in place in nursing school to fiddle people out. You can be getting 80s all semester. However, you are not performing as an 80% student in clinical, which is your stage experience, you can automatically get a failure for that competency, which automatically gives you a 55 in the entire nursing semester. Nursing school is not just about being an academic and being number 1 and having the greatest R score and the greatest GPA. It's about knowing what to do in a situation where your patient desperately needs you. And a big word that we hear about in nursing school is burnout. I'll be having a video dedicated to burnout separately because it's a huge topic and it needs to be covered, and you're actually tested on this in nursing school. Nurses succumb a huge amount of burnout from everything that they see, from the amount of work that they put in, for the amount of hours that they're not paid for. Burnout is something that is detrimental to a nurse's health, and it puts a lot of hospital staffing short. Try and avoid this in simple terms. Try to adapt the healthiest eating habits you can. Drink a lot of water. Do a lot of positivity. If you haven't watched my mental health video, I suggest you go watch it. I'll link it down below and see if I can try and put it somewhere here. Okay, everyone, so that is the ultimate nursing school survival guide with Nurse Mel. Me. I don't like talking about myself in third person. It's a little strange. I really hope you enjoyed this video. So if you know anyone that is thinking about nursing school, going into nursing school, already is in nursing school, and needs just a couple little tips and tricks to help them out along the way, I'm your girl. So thank you everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to subscribe down below, like this video, comment down below in the section for comments on things that you would like me to address in my next video. Wishing you all a very happy holidays. Stay with your family and friends and the people you love the most. Cherish these moments. See you soon.